started.
Okay, c4. Got an English opening here. Let's go with knight f6 first, and then here we go, c5. Oh, it goes immediately for e4. Okay, let's stop the pawn from coming to e5. It's a pretty funny setup, all these pawns coming forward. Let's see, that's defended, that's not. The f-pawn is loose. Sort of signaling that he's planning to attack on the king side, but he's opened up his king a little bit. Let's go with e6 here. He did prevent me from playing e5, which is sometimes the way I respond here. So now, can I play d5? Pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, knight takes. Looks like it's playable. If I play d5, I'll probably push on with e5. And then knight here or knight back here, I think it's okay. I have the queen and the knight defending this square, so if he just takes everything off, it's probably pretty okay for me. If he goes there, and I see the problem with knight d7. That was what I was planning. It actually hangs this pawn. Could play knight here. That would leave a funny pawn structure in play, wouldn't it? Knight takes, pawn takes. But is it bad? I mean, I do have this square here. And let's see, I don't want to retreat. I could go here, but it doesn't accomplish much. So let's go here. Nut and bolt. Okay. I don't know if he has anything better than taking the knight. He could try and keep developing pieces, maybe. Is there a good developing move? Also got a check here if he doesn't take the knight. But, well, he's got g3 defended, so after the check he can just play pawn to g3. There's no tricks with knight takes because he can take back with the knight. So he kicks my knight. That wasn't a particularly critical move, I don't think. So I can just take off his knight. He's going to take back with a pawn. I guess he can argue he's got more pawns in the center than I do. And how am I going to develop my bishop? I guess this bishop will come out to g7. And he's got this wall of pawns. This wall of pawns on the dark squares, which he can try and maintain. Those pawns block in his bishop. So let's hold on to the center for a little bit with this knight move and look at the f5 square as well as defending d5. Okay, so he's going to castle. Let's castle. And queen out to the queen out to b6 is interesting because of the check, but he's got rook to b8. So I could just go like this and then play bishop to b7 and oppose his bishop here on the dark squares. So he doesn't mind that, huh? So if I take and he takes with a pawn, he can take the knight and I take back and then grab the pawn here. So what should I do? If I defend my d-pawn with the bishop, so I'm free to take, then he can take on c5, pawn takes, bishop takes. So he is actually threatening to win a pawn there. Yeah, it's actually not easy to defend that pawn. So I should play a move before this goes on much longer. I can pin his knight. I can bring my knight here. I guess I defend this pawn with my queen, and this pawn with my knight, and there's no trade as long as I'm holding onto this pawn. Okay, if he goes that way, I have to reinforce the reinforce the d pawn a bit. Now he takes there, so I need to take here, I guess. My queen is defending the knight and the bishop, and it actually can do both jobs. It's not overloaded here. And his bishop is hanging, so he's got to take, or he doesn't have to. He might have had other choices there. But it makes sense. And now this bishop, he's got to decide what to do with that. Does he want to trade that one off too? So we get this kind of position. Looks like everything has been traded off. And I have two passed pawns, one passed pawn, and one pawn defending it. To defend it with. And bishop versus knight. So I just need to activate this bishop and keep his pawns from destroying me in the center. But I have some good tempo moves coming up. I have rook to d8. Which maybe I should play now because that'll open up a square for my bishop. Bishop to f8. Rook to d8. His queen is going to go somewhere. Left to right, diagonally out. Just can't come here. Can't come here. Could go there. Just looking for ways to prevent him. I mean, the other thing I could play is first get in this move, b5. Defend the c pawn. Really, he just wants to trade, huh? I'm not sure it's time to trade just yet. Let's deliver a check here. Let's see if I can do something on the dark squares. Still rook d8 looks like a good move. I have rook to d3 here, hitting his queen and hitting the knight. And this guy likes to trade, but maybe he doesn't have much choice. Going to bring this bishop out to a better square. Now he goes there with the knight. That was his idea, I guess. So his knight is defended by a queen and a rook. It's pretty solid there. He can come in here with check. And his queen is loose at the moment, but since his knight moves with check, I have to be careful. Can't place my queen on that diagonal and hope to pin it because it'll go with check. So, what's the thing to do? I need to move my queen somewhere. Maybe here. So he's got knight f6 check. Okay, and he's advancing those pawns. So rook takes is an exchange sack and not looking so great. Pushing the pawn forward, he can actually take it with the knight. Bishop here hits the d pawn. He could push forward with the f pawn. But that would lock things up. Let's see. But if I go here, he pushes forward to the f pawn. I move out, and then he pushes forward with the e pawn. Is that good? Yeah, this is a tricky position. How about lifting up this rook to double? Oh, that was a mistake. This check here now loses the rook. He didn't play it. Okay, so let's... It's still no good. Wow. This is bad. He's got this threat here. I'm giving up the exchange,
Check.
but yeah, I was in bad shape here.
Check.
He didn't take the exchange. Maybe he has a way of getting it back. He could have just taken my rook, right? So now I'm up a piece instead of being down the exchange. Kind of mysterious. Mysterious play.
Check.
Okay, yeah, my idea was to block with the bishop and put a little more pressure on the c-pawn. That's what I want to do, is I want to get this c-pawn here.
Server announcement. Check.
I'm hitting the rook. I was wondering if there was some tactic where I
Check.
could pick up the rook, but I didn't see it. Okay. It's going to try maybe for a perpetual, but I can block with the bishop again. And he's coming back on a light squared diagonal. I don't see that working for a perpetual yet. And his rook goes with check if he doesn't do anything. Yeah, so he goes there. So let's give a couple of checks.
Check.
My idea is to check once with the queen on the dark square and dark
Check.
square diagonal, then check on the light square diagonal, and then bring the bishop in. A nice little dance with the bishop and the queen.
White resigns.
Because I had to get the queen from in front of the bishop. Okay, well, that was kind of a lucky win. He really let me off the hook there, but I will take it. I'll upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.